Okay. Okay, everyone. Thanks for waiting for me. So as I mentioned earlier, I'll be working on one of your requests. So please go ahead and either unmute yourself or you can also type it into the chat below, and then I will be able to work on your request. All right. So please go ahead. Oh, yeah. Okay. Sorry, Regina, you may have to retype, okay, because I re-entered. I'm not sure. I don't think the information is still there. Yeah. Um, yes. Okay. Okay, so let me know what you want to work on today, whether you have a challenge in your life or you have a goal that you're working on, and then I can support you on that. Okay, so the first one, you want to work on confusion, low confidence. So if we look at energy on a scale of 1 to 10, 1 being weak and 10 being strong, you're at a 3 right now. So for you, there's always a flip in the sense of sometimes you feel like when you're confident, you're 7 to 8. And then when you are not, you are at 3. And actually what's weakening you is when you think about it, like when you think about I am confident or I am not confident. And then that's actually what weakens you. So I'm strengthening you to feeling or not feeling confident, thinking or not thinking about it. And because there's a built up of thinking about it over a long period of time. And what I'm being shown is like the last 5 years, especially weakens you a lot. So I'm strengthening you to the last 5 years that you have been, like having this challenge about reflecting and thinking about whether you are okay, not okay, are you doing okay in life? Are you really who you think you are, versus what's happening in your reality? So I'm strengthening you to the disparity, the changes, from what you think you would be already at a certain age versus what you are not. I'm also strengthening all the polarity within you, strengthening your central nervous system as well as your peripheral nervous system, deleting any stress and anxiety that you feel from childhood. I'm deleting your fear of being seen, and you also feel that, you want to be seen and understood by others. You want to be celebrated by others, but at the same time, you also feel like it's not safe to be seen. Like when people are looking at you, you feel like you can't be yourself. There's no sense of freedom, and then that creates a lot of anxiety within you. So I'm deleting all of that, and that already started when you were a child. So strengthening you to all your childhood experiences where you feel unsafe, whether you're watching, people like, okay, other adults watching me, is it okay? Do I have to behave in a certain way? Deleting all the feelings of confusion from childhood. And the confusion actually starts from there because you're not sure if anyone's looking at you. You're not sure whether the adults are looking at you. And then you're not sure if you matter because you don't know whether they're looking at you. And then there's that feeling of, okay, am I doing the right thing? But then again, you feel confused because so what if I'm doing or not doing the right thing because nobody's looking at me? And then that created a lot of scenario and times where you were frozen when you were young. Yeah, so strengthening you to all of these, and I'm deleting all the stress, and I'm strengthening you to be okay. Like right here, right now, I'm strengthening you also to be okay in the past, in your childhood. So I'm deleting all the feelings of unhappiness, being frozen. I'm strengthening you to move on in the childhood. I'm strengthening you to move on now, thinking back about the childhood. I'm deleting all the frozen memories that you have about those times where you feel confused when you were a kid. Strengthening you for all the personal challenges in your spirituality. It's just something that's inherent in your field. I'm strengthening you to receiving kindness. I'm strengthening you to be okay when people are kind to you, that you're strong to receiving. I'm deleting all the blocks and barriers that you put up to not, appear a certain way. You're afraid that people may judge you. You're not showing up. You want to show up, but you're not showing up. You want people to look at you, but you don't want to be seen. So I'm deleting all the layers of shields that you have put up because of your, it's just something that's inherent in your field, strengthening you to that, deleting all of that in your field, strengthening you to be strong to letting it all go. I'm strengthening all the cranial nerves in your skull, in your brain. I'm deleting all the past effects of frozen. I'm deleting all the past effects of not knowing, strengthening you to, whether you're feeling confused or not, that is fine. I'm deleting all the synapses. I'm deleting all the personal grievances from the past. And I'm also deleting all the cells, all the nervous system, all the nervous activity in the cells. Deleting all your fear, deleting all the fear that comes from being unknown, strengthening you also to be strong to connecting and disconnecting from your father. So there's a lot of fear that's transferred from your father to you. So I'm deleting all the connections, deleting all the points of interference, strengthening you to be strong to connect, disconnect from him, strengthening him to let go, strengthening it to come full circle, and strengthening healing for the both of you. And I'm also strengthening the ancestors. I'm strengthening the both of you to give any of the grievances back to your ancestors. Strengthening you that you have to carry some of these wounds that's coming from your ancestor. I'm strengthening you okay to have no thoughts. So sometimes you feel like you have no thoughts, and then that worries you, right? So it's okay to have no thoughts. I'm strengthening the peace in your nervous system, and I'm strengthening you to be okay to allow strengthening everybody on this call, strengthening everybody to be strong to one another, and strengthening everybody to be okay to be in every environment, any environment. I'm strengthening you to any characters that you may have come into contact with in terms of children's show, whatever that may mean for you. I'm strengthening you to everything that has happened for you, past, present, future, especially in the past, and it's related to your abundance and it's coming from past life. And I'm deleting all the stress that comes with thinking about wealth, thinking about material pursuits in life. I'm deleting any connotations of prosperity, connotations of wealth, whatever that may mean for you in this lifetime and in other lifetimes. I'm strengthening your personal potential. I'm strengthening your personal potential to be 100%. I'm strengthening you to be strong to all resistance, whatever your resistance are. So even if there's resistance, no resistance, you want resistance, you don't want resistance, whatever, right? That shouldn't stop you from wanting to improve yourself. So if it's more important for you to improve your life, then you should still be strong to improve your life, even if there's resistance. I'm strengthening the connection between you and your father. I'm strengthening that because the two of you are not able to let go of each other and that you want to support one another's growth in life. I'm strengthening that you are strong to all his strengths and all his weaknesses. I'm also strengthening you to be strong to all his expectations, all his unfulfilled expectations also. And I'm strengthening you that you're okay to recognize that what belongs to him may belong to you, but can also not belong to you. Deleting your fear when it comes to talking about him. I'm deleting your frozen state. So every time you think about that, you freeze up, right? You freeze up. So I'm strengthening everyone on this call, whether you have a strong connection with your father or not, whether you want to be, like your father or not. It shouldn't energetically weaken any one of us on this call. I'm deleting any stress that any one of you may have when we talk about the father, especially on your spleen, on your liver. I'm deleting all the patterns that doesn't serve our highest good when we think about connecting with our father. Strengthening all our parents. So whether they are here or not, it doesn't matter. I'm strengthening all of us and strengthening all our parents, everyone to be strong, strengthening everybody to be strong, connecting or not connecting. Okay. So, so you may or may not feel any difference immediately, depending on whether you are familiar with energy work or not. It doesn't matter, right? So keep on improving and keep on keeping on, keep on coming back whenever I have sessions or any other spaces and places where you are able to support yourself. Just allow yourself to enjoy more clearing, more strengthening, and continue to open yourself up energetically. Okay, I'm going to move on to the next request. So for those of you who have not typed in your request, you can type in your request. I'm working on one of your struggle, obstacle, challenge, or one of your goals. So you can actually type it in to me. It's okay, I'm going to do the next one. Concern on my parents' mood and state of health and tendency, depending on their happiness in my own pursuit of happiness. Yeah, okay. So that seems to be a theme for tonight. Right. So whenever we have groups like that, right, the synergy is always interesting. We are working on everyone. Like whenever we are working on one person, everyone is also getting the strengthening. And then at the same time, whoever, would actually come to like look at a call or like tune in later on. It probably also is at a time where they need one of the strengthening here. Okay, let's see. So depending on their happiness and your pursuit of happiness, is like when you start thinking about their happiness, you start entangling and you start, kind of like fumbling up. So there's a lot of entanglement between your happiness and your parents' happiness. They are actually not in your way, right? They are not in your way, but somehow you feel like you're only happy when they are happy. So I'm clearing something is coming up in terms of when you were 18 years old. So I'm strengthening you to the year when you were 18 and things were happening, deleting all the past experiences between you and your parents when you were 18, whatever that may mean for you. I'm also deleting any stress on your part where you felt like you had to give up your happiness on relationship when you were 18 because of your own experience or understanding of where they are at in terms of what they want for you. So I'm deleting all the expectations, strengthening every single one of us here to be strong to all the expectations, known and unknown, that our parents may have on us with regards to who we are, the kind of work we choose, and also the kind of relationship or the kind of people that we are with. We're deleting all of the expectation and triggers that are not supportive for all of us. I'm strengthening all of us to be strong to our own choices, our own life path, our own journey, and our own learning in this lifetime. Strengthening all of us to let go of control in terms of we cannot control, all right? Like when we have an action, we cannot decide how that action have an impact or effect on the parent, right? They have to deal with it themselves. Just like if any one of you are parents, you will know whatever your child does, you kind of have to just roll with it, right? You have to roll with it. And then your child is not responsible for making you happy. Okay? So your child is not responsible for making you happy. You are the one making yourself, happy or miserable. So it's the same for your parents. So I'm strengthening all of us to be strong to connect, disconnect, entangle or detangle from the relationship with our parents. Expectations continue to come up. It's almost like there is an external layer of expectation where we feel like because society thinks of it a certain way, and then therefore my parents think a certain way. But that is a projection of what we think our parents really want, right? So I'm deleting all the projection that we have about who our parents think we should be. I'm deleting all the misunderstanding, misinterpretation, and misconnection in that sense. Like there's a disconnect between that. Because of the disconnect between us and our parents for the lack of communication, we actually are projecting what we think society thinks and therefore our parents think. Deleting all of the strands of connection, deleting the wall, the blockage that's totally in front of you. Like it's almost like, those army images where you have to climb that wall, right? Like in the obstacle course and you have to climb that wall. It's like there's a wall in front of you and the officers say that you have to climb through that, but actually there's plenty of space around it. You don't have to climb that wall. Forget about that wall. Just go around it. Okay? So deleting all of that. I'm deleting all the obstacles that we perceive are there, but actually there are many different paths around it where we can move, strengthening every one of us to see the path that's around that obstacle. Deleting any sense of obstruction, right? So you can imagine if the wall is here, but there's actually a lot of space around it, but we're not moving through that space, we're looking at that little wall that's in front, right? So that sense of obstruction that we have, deleting all of that down to -0 infinity quantum particle level, deleting it from the cellular level memory. I'm deleting all that pain and frustrations. And again, it's on the rib cage on the left-hand side. I'm deleting any frustration, stuck energies on the left rib cage. I'm strengthening everyone here to be strong to, letting go of that sense of who is right and who is wrong. As you are listening to some of these points here, and then you are reevaluating your relationship with people around you, whatever that may be about. So going back to, concern on your parents' mood, right? Uh, the word itself, mood, right? Yeah, you go straight down to one when you think about that word. So I'm deleting all the definition, expectations, connotations, and things that just trigger you, like parents' mood. One. So deleting all of that, strengthening you to the word itself, strengthening you that it's okay, mood is mood, right? And we can also have a lot of other definition of mood. So how about parents' mood being mellow? How about parents' mood being romantic? How about parents' mood being, oh wow, they're so joyful and happy and peaceful, right? All of that can be our parents' mood. It doesn't always have to be, whatever else, the opposite. So I'm strengthening you to all of your parents' mood. I'm strengthening you to the word itself. I'm strengthening you to your own mood. I'm strengthening you to disconnect from your own moods. So I'm deleting all the pent-up frustration that you have in the past in your solar plexus that comes from being affected by them, because as you perceive them, and then, all your anxiety, all your frustration, all your anger, all your helplessness, it all culminates at your solar plexus. Deleting all the pain there, deleting all the remnants, deleting all the strands of information, strengthening the mitochondria in your cells, strengthening for reproduction, regeneration, disconnection from the past, strengthening for new energy, new movement in the cellular level of activity in the body, strengthening you to strong to your finances, finances strong to you. Strengthening all of us to kindness, kindness towards ourselves, kindness towards our own mind. Right. Today I saw this t-shirt and it says, be kind to your mind. Yeah. So we all need to be kind to our own mind, right? Stop scaring ourselves, right? Louise Hay, the famous self-love teacher, she would say that, don't scare yourself with your thoughts. Right? You know how very often we are thinking things and then we're scaring ourselves. So I'm strengthening all of us today, deleting all the unkind words, deleting all the fear, deleting all that sense of, like, I need to be responsible for my parents' happiness. No, they are responsible for their own happiness. We are responsible for our own happiness. They are responsible for theirs. And then everything else is about communication. Everything else is about deleting expectations. Everything else is about the sense of power that comes from freedom to choose, freedom to react, respond, and freedom to create and recreate. Strengthening all of us to that, strengthening us to all the cycles of, that regeneration over and over again, big and small decisions daily, strengthening all of us to be strong to that. And especially because, ultimately, those of us who are doing this kind of inner work, we all know that we are waking up to who we are, right? And we're waking up to all these very, very fine details of feelings, sentiments, thoughts. And that's why it bothers us so much. But the good news is when we are aware of the negative, we can also be aware of the positive, right? So strengthening everyone here, just strong. When you're strong to your negative thoughts, when you're strong to your negative feelings and emotions, in the sense of strong meaning that when it comes up, when it arises, you are aware of it. You know that, okay, I'm having this moment right now, and therefore I can actually change it the next moment. Strengthening everyone to changing that, strengthening the feels. I'm strengthening your usual, deleting all the usual thought patterns, the usual way of reacting, strengthening all of us to newness. I'm strengthening all your central nervous system once again, firing up all the spinal column, deleting any stuck energies in the spinal column. Okay, that feels stronger now. So I'm deleting any sluggish energy for all of us. Sluggish energies because of heaviness in terms of daily habits. That's again, connected to the collective, right? Sleeping habits, eating habits, thinking habits, deleting all of that. Strengthening all of us to be strong, connecting, disconnecting, changing, not changing, and divine timing. Everything that's for our highest good, regardless of what other people say, that will support us in our life. We're all strong to that. So whatever it is, right? Eat, don't eat. Sleep, don't sleep. Whatever it is. Work, don't work. It doesn't matter. Everybody has our own timing, okay? Everybody has our own divine direction. So I'm strengthening all of us to be strong to that. Okay, I'm gonna move on to the next one. You want more joy in your relationship, in the family, and in your personal relationship. So on a scale of 1 to 10, it's a 2 right now. There's a lot of frustration. There's a lot of feeling like I need to have a lot of energy. I'm very angry. I'm very frustrated. I can't voice it. I can't say it. I'm deleting all of that down to -0 infinity, quantum particle level. Clarity, I'm strengthening you to clarity of what you want, clarity of, being okay to say what you know or you do not know yet, and being okay to do things that you want to pursue, whether you feel like you're being understood by your partner or not, right? You can still be clear in yourself. So with clarity, you feel strong. So even if you're not expressing as clearly what you want, you should still be strong energetically. I'm deleting any pain and stuck energies on the upper back, deleting all the stress from the upper back, deleting the wind energy in the upper back, strengthening for joy, strengthening for trust, and strengthening for all the playful moments and, being strong to the playful moments. So when your playful moments are stronger than all the tension moments, right, then just strong, generally overall. So every time you are having tension moments, just delete that and become playful again. Be playful in the relationship. Be certain in your playfulness. Be clear about what you really want to create, and that's fine, right? Then that will create more harmony in the family and between you and your partner. So let's look at joy. Generally, you're joyful, right? 7 out of 10. Clarity keeps coming up. So I'm strengthening you to that. Clarity of your goals, clarity of your life, clarity of who you are, strengthening you to clarity of who you are, strengthening you also to the clarity of who your partner is, right? Like as in your partner's qualities, what your partner want or do not want. And once you have clarity, then there is room to say, okay, you want this and I want that, but we can't have this and that, then let's create something else, right? Let's create something else. And sometimes it's not about meeting in the middle. Sometimes it's about creating something that's different, right? So when you create something that's different, and it looks like it's on the periphery, it's not the main thing that you're two of you are discussing. But when you go to the periphery, when you actually move slightly further away from the middle, then maybe it creates room for something else to grow. Maybe it creates another possibility at a slightly different timing. And don't be hung up about timing either, because then when you move from that center, like you're here, your partner's here, you want to meet here, but you can't. And then you move further away, but it creates that room, right, for something to happen. Movement is not always linear. it can move in any direction, okay? It can move in any timeline. So I'm strengthening all of us so that in all our relationship, whether it's in our romantic partnership, whether it's in a life partnership, whether it's in your work, whether it's, parent and child, we all want that. We all want to be able to have clarity, and then we want to create space so that it can move towards something that's different from what we originally think it ought to look like. So I'm deleting that need to meet in the middle. No need to meet in the middle, create something new totally. So I'm deleting any dryness in the throat, any energies in the throat about being unable to express. I'm strengthening you to find your own ways of expressing, delete the frustration, exasperation of not finding the right words and fearing that you don't want to create any disharmony. So when you are clear about your intention, there shouldn't be any worry, because joy is part of it, harmony is part of it, and then something better is part of it. I'm deleting all your tiredness and fatigue about explaining yourself. I'm deleting all that sense of I don't know how to do it and the frustration that comes along with it. Okay, feels a bit lighter now. You may need a few more to work on the throat, but let's see. I'm going to move on to the next request. So for those of you who have just joined or you haven't typed in yet, you can either type in, or there later on you can also just unmute yourself and tell me what you want to work on. I'm going to move on to the next request. You like to strengthen your ability to receive financial abundance, money, and you like to strengthen your ability to be clear in thinking. Okay, clarity. That's like clarity. The clarity in thinking is actually pretty clear, right? Like 7 or 8. So what I'm getting is be kind to your mind, right? Like when you start thinking about your ability, then don't beat the ability up. Don't beat that potential up. Don't beat that I haven't done it before up, right? Like don't use all of those to beat yourself up in the thinking. So connect strong with your desire, connect strong with your goals. And then when the doubts come up, right, it's okay to have doubts. So I'm strengthening you to be strong to that. It's okay to have doubts. Strong to be okay with having doubts. Strengthening you to be strong to also then, letting go immediately. Because when you don't let go and then the doubts come, then the hate is painful, painful. So I'm deleting all the usual responses that you have where you start thinking and you start allowing the doubts to take over your system and you start having tension in the head and then you start having aches and you start having frustration and then you can't think anymore because in those moments, the clarity is not there because you allow the negativity, you allow the thoughts to override the clarity that was already there. So deleting any overriding, strengthening you to overriding that negativity, right? So strengthening every one of us. Sometimes we are clear with what we want, and then the doubts come in, the negativity swallows us, right? I'm strengthening for overriding that swallowing. So when you notice that swallowing up of negativity over your clarity, I'm strengthening you to find the seed of clarity in your heart and strengthening you to always tap into that clarity in the heart. Even if your body is feeling tired because you're feeling that swallowing up, that you're strong to still connect with that seed of clarity inside your heart and then strengthen that to override all the pain of the past. So deleting all the pains of the past, deleting all the heartache, strengthening everybody in this group to all the heartache that you have experienced, strengthening you to let go of all the heartaches, strengthening you to recognize your heartache, and strengthening you to be kind to yourself when you are reminded of the heartache. So we don't have to resist the heartache. We don't have to deny the heartache. We can recognize, we can acknowledge that the heartache is there. The heartache was there. The heartache is still there. And I'm strong to understanding it. I'm strong to having it. And I'm strong to also not having it. And I'm also strong to letting the divine support me and take away that heartache. And when you're tuning into that heartache, all the left side of your, from the heart to the lungs, to the side of the shoulder aches together with it. So I'm deleting all these stuck energies from the past there, all the heavy, intense energy that's there, strengthening to allowing to dissolve, to let go. Strengthening you to connect with your core, strengthening you to connect with your stability in your root chakra, strengthening all the exit portals in your body, strengthening for all the energies to leave the energetic core, strengthening the energetic core in your heart to be strong to the original love, to the original trust, to the original unconditional love, and strengthening everybody on this call for the same, no matter what your heartache is about. I'm strengthening all of us to all of this. Strengthening for clearing away all the past energies. I'm seeing a white dragon, so I'm strengthening you to that white dragon, whatever that may mean for you. I'm deleting all the sense of judgment that comes from beating yourself up in the past, feeling like you can't, you're not sure if you can ever. And I'm strengthening you to being strong, to recognizing your current state of abundance. So no matter what that state of abundance look like right now, I'm strengthening you to accepting it. I'm strengthening you to being okay with, this is my abundance right now and it's okay. This is my level of abundance and I'm recognizing the abundance in this level. So I'm strengthening all of us to that. We recognize our level of abundance, and recognizing this level of abundance and accepting this does not mean that we are going to stay here. It means that we actually can, again, override. Keep overriding the programming. Keep overriding the programming so you can keep moving up the ladder. Maybe it's not a ladder, maybe it's something else, right? It's a spiral, whatever it is. Strengthening all of us to being strong to overriding, strengthening us to be strong to accepting, deleting any sense of accepting means you're staying here. No, accepting means that I'm glad, I'm celebrating, and then I want more, and I'm going to be able to enjoy every level. Strengthening all of us to accepting ourselves, strengthening all of us to our strength and our disabilities, whatever that may mean, strengthening all of us to our feeling of, oh, I can't do that, right? Deleting that need to connect with the I can't do that, right? So even if we recognize that, oh, I can't do that, then there's something else I can do, right? So connect strong with the what you can do rather than what you can't do. But then connecting with the what you can do also gives you heartache for some reason. So strengthening you to all the heartache that doing what you can do in the past has actually given you a lot of pain. Deleting all the people involved, known and unknown, deleting all the connections that no longer serve your highest good, strengthening you to letting them go, forgiving them, forgiving yourself, strengthening you to allowing them to do their own thing, strengthening you to free yourself up so that you can actually fulfill your own life rather than looking after other people. So whatever contracts you have with all these other people, strengthening you to be strong to dissolving, deleting, disintegrating. And I'm strengthening all of you to form your new contracts that is honoring all of you individually and as well as the whole. There's some fear, remnants of fear. So deleting all the remnants of fear, deleting all the voices of fear, wherever they are, strengthening you to allowing them to their own freedom, their own struggles, strong to living your own life. Deleting fear of your ability, deleting fear of your ability, whether it's still relevant in today's world, whether it's too advanced for today's world, right? Whatever it is, right? Deleting all of that. Strengthening you to your ability, strengthening all of us to our ability across time, space, and dimension, strengthening for divine direction, divine timing, and creative space that allows the unfoldment. I'm strengthening for flexibility, deleting all the stuck energies. Again, still on the left side, still some parts of it left, deleting that sense of keeping yourself small. Some of it comes from being squashed when in your mom's tummy, in utero, deleting all the times where you feel squashed in utero, whatever that may mean. Strengthening for letting go of any souls that were squishing in there with you at that time. Strengthening you to be strong to discontinuing, strengthening that soul to its own life and to, its different lifetimes, afterlife or before life or whatever it is to be separated. Delete 300 stress patterns from being squashed in utero. Strengthening you to all the various ways that you allow yourself to receive financial abundance, deleting that sense of I'm not too sure how it's going to come, and thinking about how it's going to come, not sure about how it's to come, is giving you a lot of heartache, a lot of heartache. Fear of aging, fear of dependence, no dependence, support, no support, people, no people, friends, no friends, family, no family, clients, no clients, peers, no peers, all of that. Strengthening you to letting go of what you think you know, right? So when we're strong to the unknown, when we're strong to something different, then something fresh can arise for you. Strengthening you to let go of all identities, strengthening you to being strong to receiving a new identity of who you are, and being able to allow yourself to embrace something different. Could also be the same, who knows, right? But when we are open to being different, then whatever else comes, that's for our highest good, it will be fine. Deleting 3 layers of fear that's around your heart, the spiritual heart. Strengthening you to recognizing the form, the divine form for yourself, finding that divine master that you can count on, that will support you, strengthening you to finding it quickly so that will support you. Strengthening you to, again, connecting with your root chakra, strengthening to connection with all the lower chakras, strengthening all of us to connect, to be grounded, and to connect with Mother Earth itself, strengthening you to be strong, to allowing the support to come through, strengthening your backbone, strengthening your pulling of the energetic body, strengthening to be at ease with all directions, all directions of connection, and also all directions of faith and all directions of growth, strengthening you to opening up. Okay, it feels better now, it feels lighter now. So let's keep moving forward and then, just allowing. So remember, if triggers come up, override, okay? Override, override, override. Tune into the core of the seat of who you are in your heart. That clarity is there. Okay. Okay, I'm going to move on to the next request. Division of time and effort to devote to cortisol lowering exercises, mechanisms. You want to regulate your blood pressure to go down to normal fast and not keeping it at unhealthy high numbers. You want to reverse arterial stiffness, and you want to be strong to meditation, breathwork, qigong, tai chi, yoga for better self-regulation. You're very busy. I can't breathe. Yeah, like your cortisol is high because you're giving yourself a lot of stress. I need to do this. Should I do this, that? So I'm strengthening all of us to be kind to ourselves. That's the theme of the night, to be kind to ourselves, right? Strengthening everybody to be strong to lower activities. What I mean by lower activity means that, like all that thinking, right? All that thinking that's going on in your mind. I need to do this. If I don't do this, maybe I'm not going to be well, right? If only I did this. If only I did that. No, right? We didn't do, and that's fine. Okay, so I'm strengthening everybody to everything that we did not do, whether it's in our work, our relationship, in our exercises, in our health, our maintenance, our well-being. Okay to let that go. Okay, strong to letting it go. Strong to letting it be for now. Deleting, beating ourselves up for the things that we did not manage to do because of the limitation of time and energy. Strengthening to letting go. Delete all the to-do lists that you did not fulfill. Deleting all the I should have done that. Deleting all the I have only myself to blame. I wasn't good enough. So strengthening all of us to that, okay? So a lot of it stems from feeling that you did not do enough for yourself and therefore you're not good enough. Deleting all of this that's connected, it's unconscious, it's in the unconscious, right? You're not aware that it's coming from that, but that's okay. Again, that's okay. It happens to all of us. It's in our unconscious. It's something that plagues like the modern people, right? Because the more we think, the more we're connected, the faster our brain works, our thoughts race, and we think that we have to do more because we grew up in a society that tells us more is better. So I'm strengthening all of us, being strong to that conditioning and also being strong to undoing the conditioning right now. So as we're undoing the conditioning, sometimes we go through long periods of inactivity. Sometimes we go through long periods of like feeling demotivated. Sometimes we go through long periods of feeling unwell, not at ease in our body. And as I'm talking about that, right, there's also a lot of pain in your heart, right? So I'm deleting the pain in your heart again. There's a lot of pain at the back on the left side as well. I'm deleting all the stress that comes with living this life. Strengthening all of us to that, deleting all the stress of living this life. Deleting any sadness that comes up when you think about the stress of living this life. Clarity, deleting fear of being clear, not being clear. Deleting all the times you've used the word terrible on yourself, whatever that word means for you, right? Oh, that's terrible. Oh, it's terrible. I didn't do this. Oh, I'm terrible. Delete all of that. So the most important thing for you for self-regulation is breathe. You know, sit and breathe. Sit and be in silence. Okay, and then when you're silent, peaceful, and joyful, if movements come, then let the movement happen. It's natural, right? Movement is natural. So it can be micro movements, it can be bigger movements, right? Flow with that. So don't be hard on yourself. The most important movements come naturally to unlock the body's stiffness, to unlock everything that's stuck, right? So all of us were like, just tune into your body and how your body want to move, you know? Then allow those movements that make you feel like, oh, wow, that feels good, right? That feels good. And that itself is meditation. That itself is Qigong. That itself is Tai Chi, you know? Yeah. So follow your own breath, follow your own movement. Don't worry about going to classes, joining this, doing that. I need to be at the park. I need to be there at 7 a.m. No, no. Sit where you are. Tune in, breathe in, allow, go into a relaxed state. Start listening to your breath, start listening to your body, follow your body. Let go of the mind, follow the body. Let go of the mind, follow the body. And that's how we tune into our physical well-being. Okay. Okay, that feels strong. Also heartache, okay? So work on recognizing when, if and when sadness comes up, if and when fear comes up, if and when grief comes up, just pay attention to that feeling and then recognize it. Yeah, recognize it. Just recognize it. Accept that, okay, I am seeing this, I'm feeling this, I'm thinking this. I don't understand it and it's fine. But I hear my thoughts. I hear my inner voice. I hear my pain. So hearing the pain is important, strengthening you to hearing your pain, strengthening you to connecting with yourself and your heart space when you hear yourself. That's all. And then when you beat yourself up, even if it's gently, recognize it. When you hear yourself chiding yourself, even if it's gently, recognize it. And then say, oh, wow, I'm beating myself up again, even if it's gently, right? Some of us are harder on ourselves. Oh, I'm so stupid. Oh, I should have done that, right? Some of us are like, oh my God, that was terrible. Why did I do that? Why did I not do that? It's still beating ourselves up, okay? So let's learn to recognize it. Let's learn to not beat ourselves up so much. Let's learn to recognize I'm feeling a certain way. Oh, wow, I have just had a thought where I'm beating myself up. Just recognize it. And then the more we recognize it, the more we're able to let it go. Deep breaths. Okay, thank you. I'm going to work on the next request. So next request, you want to strengthen your peace, you want to let go of fixation so that you have new ways of doing things, tendency to think that you're slow and self-sabotage from learning, find that you don't remember integrate information very well, want to feel confident in your own skin, speak authority, physically healthy, gain some new muscles, weight gain, etc. Enough money, affordability of meals, clear your debts. Okay, that's a lot of requests. I'll try to work on one and I'll see which one unlocks the best of this all. I'm gonna zoom in onto this phrase that you wrote. I'm not gaining muscles or weight. Okay, so that is the crux of all your requests today. You're not gaining enough muscles or weight in terms of not just your physicality. You're not gaining enough muscles or weight spiritually. You're not gaining enough muscles or weight in terms of your own personal power. And even just tuning into this sentence itself, I feel pain on the left ankle. I feel pain on the right shoulder. So this is a 3-point connection between your right shoulder, your left ankle, and your heart. So I'm strengthening for this 3-point connection, deleting the 3-point connection, strengthening whether these 3 points are connected, not connected, that you're strong. And once we do that, your left ankle is very, very painful. There's a lot of weakness on the left ankle. You're not getting enough support on the feminine side. I'm strengthening you to the support of your own feminine energy, support from, what there is a lack of, there's a lack of flow, there's a lack of, in your family pattern, in your ancestral pattern, there's a lack of trust on the feminine way of doing things. Feminine way of doing things meaning, you have your own cycle. It's not competitive, it's collaborative, So collaborative is not viewed as weak. But in the ancestral pattern, is there that collaborative or, being gentle, being slower, being weaker, so to speak, in terms of like the physical strength is viewed as something that is not good, right? And because of that, you're carrying the weight of all of these expectations. And then as a woman, you're also not gaining enough muscles or weight. So everything is linked, consciously, unconsciously, strengthening you to be strong to that, deleting all the connotations of what it means to be a woman, whether you can have bulk or no bulk, weight or no weight, muscles or no muscles, strengthening you to let go of all of those expectations of what all of these may mean inside your energetic system, inside your heart. I'm strengthening you to connect with your own personal power. So you're already connecting, but you don't feel strong connecting to it because there is that conflict within you where you want to retain your femininity. You like your small frame. You like to feel like, oh, I can be smaller and, I don't need to be that visible. But then, I want to gain all of that, but I don't want to also at the same time. So I'm deleting all the conflicting ideas for you in your own internal system, what it may mean to be a woman or not. Deleting all the synapses, all the connections, all the synaptic reaction in your brain, strengthening your left ankle to your brains, deleting all the fear that comes from being strong. You have a lot of fear about being strong. And then that's why, you're not gaining the muscles or weight. Because the feminine in you, that feminine energy in you wants to be small, wants to be protected. I'm strengthening you to disconnect from all your ancestors when it comes to that. So deleting all the connection where you feel the heartache, because there's heartache because it's been like that in my family for a long, long time. I cannot be myself. I want to be small and protected, but I also want to be strong, right? So which is the real me? Because there are conflicting voices. Strengthening all the cells in the body, deleting all the programming and conditioning on the cells. Strengthening for change in your DNA pattern, strengthening for changes in your telomeres, strengthening for your field, deleting any distortion in your heart electromagnetic field, strengthening for love, strengthening for support from yourself, strengthening for support from your ancestors, whether you're same or different from them, strengthening for disconnect from your land, and strengthening your ancestors for the same, connect or disconnect from the land, strengthening you to disconnect from the house, strengthening you to be strong outside the house, strengthening you to be okay with getting out of the house, deleting, your connection, like there's an over dependence energetically between you and your house. So whatever that is about, strengthening you to let go of that, strengthening you to changes, strengthening you to getting out, deleting sitting down all the time in the house, deleting sitting down and thinking, and that's where the heartache comes about. Feeling helpless, sitting down, feeling helpless, sitting down, feeling helpless. So deleting whatever this may mean in your system, deleting that sitting down weakness, strengthening you to getting out, getting up, getting out, getting up, getting out. But whether it's getting up, getting out, that conflict again in your heart, sitting down, staying safe, deleting all the conflict, strengthening you to, all of it shouldn't weaken you, strengthening you to connect more with your own mind, with your own heart, with your own soul, rather than all of these expectations that's pulling you. Okay, feels a bit lighter now. Yeah, so that feels better now. Okay, we will continue to work on it. Like hopefully next week. Next week I'll continue to do. So please get on the call. Okay, I'm going to work on the next request. You like to gain encouragement, words, to gain ability, strength, clarity on how to seek and align current lost self to inner voice of self, no longer serve me, ways to gaining support, self-sabotage, routine mentally, reach new heights of physical, maybe habitual, progressive, become aimless self-deprivation. So deleting loop, strengthening to connect, disconnect from yourself, strengthening to connect with other people, strengthening to be strong to connecting with other people's healing, strengthening you to disconnecting the discordant voice inside yourself. There is that sense of protection, like you want to protect yourself, and then because you want to protect yourself, you call up in your energetic system, and then that fear is tightly closed in there, and then you're not even aware of what's happening outside anymore because you're trying to protect yourself. Right? So when you're trying to protect yourself that much, you're not even open to the healing that, even a lot of the things we have said earlier is actually the same stuff. So I'm strengthening you to connect with all of that, deleting that fear of connecting, deleting that sense of, like, I don't want to know what's going on outside because I can't deal with it. I need to deal with myself. But then what you're also going through, other people are going through. And sometimes when you open up to, hey, maybe I can do something about it. So what if I can't do anything about it? There are also other people having that same, but I don't want to be the same as other people because I have never been the same as other people. So all of those thoughts are stopping you from doing something about yourself. But then you're also tired and you want that rest. And then because you're tired, you want that rest, and therefore you want to call up. So I'm strengthening you to the time that you need to rest. I'm strengthening you to resting. Again, common theme tonight, right? Be kind to yourself. It is okay when you need to rest. Don't think about all the things that you should be doing. There's no should. Right? We want to be strong to, not the should, we want to be strong to I can, and I can also don't. Right? So I'm strengthening all of us to that. I can, and I can also don't. I don't have to. And right now, many of you here, you need to rest. At least for this week. That's what I'm getting, right? Like the long drawn period that you feel like, I've been resting enough. Isn't it enough already? I need to do something. Maybe not in your case yet. Like, yes, we want to do something, but we should also be okay to, hey, I can do this forever, why not? Why not? Okay, I'm not saying that you will or you have to, right? But why not? Why not? And what if this is something I should learn to enjoy? What if this is something that I should learn to enjoy? Enjoy it first. And then through the enjoyment, when you accept, when you allow, something new can happen. When you're beating yourself up, you're too busy beating yourself up. You have no room for enjoyment. You have no room for creative expression. You have no room to do what you can be really joyfully doing. And therefore, and then your prayer is, let me have joy doing what I do. Guess what, right? Like, okay, but you can't enjoy it. So you can't enjoy now. How are you going to enjoy later? You're resting and you're not enjoying it. But then you don't want to do the things that you think you should be doing. So there's also no joy there, right? strengthening everybody to all the conflicting thoughts, all the conflicting actions, and strong to accepting your non-action for now, even in this moment. It's okay. And don't beat yourself up anymore for the non-action in the past. It's okay. Let go of all of that now. Strengthen forgiveness, all of us. Strengthen for forgiveness. Strong to all the times where you thought you should have done something because your happiness rested on that. But it's that moment is over, that time is over, the moment is now. So strengthen all of us to be strong in the here and now, strong to connect with the past, strong to connect also with the future. And what's more important is to connect with the future. Connect to the future, connect to the unknown, connect to the part of you that has not yet been expressed. Maybe some of you are still finding it right now. Maybe we're all finding it right now, still finding it, and it's okay. Shouldn't energetically weaken any one of us. Somebody is feeling weakness on your left wrist when we talk about this. So deleting any pain you have in the left wrist, deleting any soreness, deleting any, again, fear about, can I be creative? Can I be soft and yet be productive? So strengthening all of us. It's okay to rest. It's okay to be soft and productive. It's okay to allow other people to help us. We don't need to be the ones coming out with the ideas. We don't need to be the ones coming out with the solution. We can just be a part of that flow. And in the right flow, with the right people in the right space, we can allow ourselves to ride that flow, right? So when I ask all of you now, like, think about it. If I say, hey, you're gonna receive $10,000 without doing anything. Strong to that? Nice, right? But can you accept that? Are you able to accept that energetically? Does it sit well in your body? Right? So we want to be strong to that. We want to be strong that, okay, maybe I don't have to do anything. Why am I always thinking I have to do something? I'm not saying you don't. I'm not saying you won't. I'm just saying that, are you strong in accepting that? So strengthening all of us to joy, ease, allowing, strengthening all of us to, it hasn't happened recently and it's okay. Strengthening all of us to, it can happen. I can allow it to happen. I want it to happen. And then deleting all the heartache surrounding, I couldn't, it did not. Maybe I'm not loved. Maybe I'm not good enough. Maybe I did something wrong. Deleting all of those thinking. Okay, still a tiny bit of remnant soreness on the left wrist. Fear. Deleting all the fear that's related to that, deleting all the fear that's on the top of the brains, deleting all the tension on the top of the brain, across the chest, deleting all oppression, self-inflicted or otherwise, deleting rejection of kindness towards self from other people, deleting rejection of kindness towards yourself, deleting self-judgment, self-punishment, deleting any contracts that you have with yourself on a soul level, like I'm going to discipline myself because nobody disciplined me in the past, deleting all that sense of need for punishment. Strengthening your left wrist, strengthening for all the exit portals on your hands. Deleting any percolation of ideas, strengthening you to allowing the ideas to flow out, strengthening you to deleting all ideas that no longer feels good right now, strengthening all of us to that. Let go of any ideas that doesn't serve you right now. It was a good idea yesterday. It was a good idea last year. It was a good idea 10 years ago. Let it go now. Look for what's a good idea right now, and then look for what's a good idea in future for yourself going forward, strengthening all of us to that, moving forward. Okay, feels strong now, feels better now, much lighter now. Okay. Anyone else haven't given me something to work on? Or are we good? I think there's maybe one person who hasn't put in a request. If you have a request, put it in. If not, then, again, maybe everyone's challenges tonight resonate with one another, right? Clarity, what else? Kindness, being able to move, being able not to get stuck, being able to enjoy, being able to feel more confident, having more financial flow. Yeah. So, yeah. Slightly better. Still a little bit of heaviness on the heart, but we will get there. We will get there. Okay. Thank you. Thank you for sharing your feedback. Okay. Are we good? Are we happy? Are we feeling stronger now?
Yes.
Okay. Need any remnants? Need any last words? Anybody wants to say anything? Share something? Okay, so here's what we're gonna do. Everyone, you don't have to switch on your video, but everyone share one word or one feedback or one word of encouragement or whatever it is to everyone else here tonight. Free to say one sentence, one word, one quote, one encouragement.
Hello, Sharina
Hi.
here.
Uh-huh.
I think the one word would be love.
Mm-hmm. Thank you. One word, one quote, whatever.
Okay. Like abundance here and now. Like now in the present moment. Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you.
Feels very good.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you.
Kindness to self.
You.
Someone says you can still choose differently. And someone says parents letting go. My word is peace. Okay. Anyone else? There's one more person. There's one more person. You wanna let us hear your voice? Or do you want to type it in? So I don't know your name, but on my screen, there's a big letter S. Okay, and Glenn says bask in the moment. Thank you. S, do you want to say something? Do you want to unmute yourself, say something, or you want to share with us one word or one sentence before we tune off for this evening? Or maybe it's silence. Maybe for you it's silence, and that's fine. Okay, silence is good. Silence is okay. Any emotions that you're feeling right now, it's all good for you. Trust that. Okay, everybody, thank you. I will see you next week, same link.
Thank you so much, Scarlett.
Thank you, Amanda. So M says no idea. Maybe still can try find better. That's okay. Yeah, that's okay. rest in that. Rest in that. So I'll see you all next week. We'll still be doing this same link. Okay. All right. Take care. Have a good week.
Okay, thank you. Good night.
Good night.
Thank you.
Thank you.